All right, everyone. What do you think of geometry? You've taken the mid-topic test. We've only got 4 more topics left. How are you feeling? What do you think? What do you know? Do you think it's making sense? I hope it's all right. Please don't be daunted by the size of this video, the length of this video. I only want you to watch the part that you need to. I'm going to show you the one thing about today. I'll go through a couple problems, but only watch the parts you need to watch, and then you can look at the answer key with your work and see how well you do. So just one thing you need to know for today, and I think a lot of you may even already know it. So let's get me out of the way and get this done. Okay. Today's assignment is simply to know that the area of a circle, it's written here on page 452, the area of a circle, these are some notes you can write down if you want to keep it somewhere, is simply that number pi that we've talked about times whatever the radius is squared. So if I have a circle, that is an ugly circle. We're going to have an actual circle. I have a circle, and I want to know how much is inside that circle of whatever we're talking about. What's the area? What's the part inside? I simply take pi and multiply it by whatever that length is, the radius, squared. It's not pi and r squared, just the radius is squared. So if I have a circle, so I can make a better one, with radius 5, now I can't write a number. The area is pi times 5 squared. It's pi times the radius squared. And as we learned from PEMDAS, first of all, parentheses, then exponents. We do the exponents first. So the area here would be pi times whatever 5 squared is. And your calculator will let you know that 5 times 5 is 25. And then finally, to find out what that area is, push the pi button right here. The area is pi times, and I've got 25. I could type 25 there, but I'm just going to type 5 squared there. It's the same thing. And 25 pi, which is what it showed there. And then I push this button right here above the enter to give me the number when I multiply it by the 3.14, the number about 78.539, and it just goes on. And different teachers will tell you to round different amounts, but we know it's about 78. They've reminded us here in the book that pi can be 3.14, 22 sevenths. Sometimes it's 3.1, getting the close number. That's the only thing you need to know for today, pi r squared. Now, the issue is, in the book work, they make it pretty difficult. Oh, what do I mean? Well, on this one, what's the area of a circle with radius 8 inches? Circle, draw a picture, 8 inches. What's the area? Well, the area is pi r squared. So the area is pi times 8 squared. And you guys know that 8 squared is 64. So the area is pi times 64. So I push the pi button times 64. And I want that number without pi, so I change the number format of it. 201.06. 201.06. And to be completely accurate, this is 8 inches. And I did inches times inches, so that's inches squared. So that circle is 201 square inches, or inches squared. Or if I had here's an inch, and here's an inch, and here's an inch, and here's an inch, it's 201.06 of those inches squared. Well, you're thinking that wasn't very hard. Well, no, it wasn't. There's a whole bunch of these right here, further down. What if they give you the diameter? Well, there's this added step you have to do because we don't care about the diameter. We only care about the radius. It's pi radius squared. So you've got to take half of the diameter and use 6 in that equation. It's pi times 6 squared. Don't use the 12. And that's where this difficulty is going to come in. They've got problems here where there's 2, 3, 4, 5 steps in it just to get the answer they want. I'm going to kind of race through a couple of them, but just as long as you know that the area of a circle is pi r squared, that's really all you need to know for today. And if you do that, then you're doing good. Find the area of this circle, and this time use 3.14. Well, the area, pi r squared, the area is, they say use 3.14 times the radius, 9 squared. And you can do that all in one fell swoop, 3.14 times, where's the light here, Larson? 9 squared. 9 squared. So what's pi r squared there? It is 254.34. 254.34. We did feet, so we did feet times feet. So it's feet times feet, or feet squared. If this is 1 square foot right there, you can fit 254 squares of feet in that circle. Right here, same thing. It's pi r squared. Pi r squared, that's what the area is. They don't give you the radius. You have to cut that in half to get 53. And then do the equation with pi times 53 squared, and the answer is going to be yards squared. So work out that calculator, use the 3.14 for pi, and you'll get the same answer as the answer. Really, that's all the work is. But as you get down here to some of these hard ones, and maybe what some that's going to be on the test, now it's a 2 and 3 and 4 or 5 part problem. The stained glass window, they want the area of all of this. And these are 2 quarter circles. We've got kind of this rectangle thing here. Well, how do we find the area of the window? You have to cut it up into pieces. Find the area of this lower part, and that's just a rectangle. So it's 12 times, let's see, 26, take off the 4 here, so it's 22. So 12 times 22, that's this bottom part. And then we're going to add that answer to this little rectangle section up here. And it's 12 across minus 4 and 4. So this is 4 across. And how high is it? Well, let's see, it was 20. Oh, the height is right here. It's 4 high. So it's 4 times 4. So that's that little rectangle section up there. And then you've got this last part right here, which is, they say, quarter circle. So you put them together, it's a half circle with a radius 4. So we're trying to find the area of this half circle with a radius 4. So it's just, pi r squared. And then we have to take half of that. And on that one, the radius is 4. So it's pi times 4 squared. All of that divided by 2. So then to get the answer to this, you would take, times those, get a number, times those, get a number, get that all on the calculator, get a number, and then add them all together, and that will be the answer in the answer. So there's some problems where you have to add all these different things, the area of a rectangle, area of a rectangle, area of a half circle. It's kind of not fair to just throw all of these things in what's supposed to be a simple assignment. The circumference they give you, so what's the area? Well, you know that the circumference is 2 pi r, and if you can figure that out, then what's the area with pi r squared? The circumference is 50.24. So 50.24 is 2 pi r. Can you solve that? Can you figure out what the radius is? Yes, you can. You can divide 2 pi off of both sides, and you're going to get the radius. They say to use 3.14 for pi, so I'm going to figure out what the answer to this right here is. It's 50.24 divided by 2 times pi. Oh, and they wanted me to use 3.14 for pi, so we delete that. 3.14, they want to use 3.14 for pi, so we get, whoa, that's why they did it. They've engineered this problem to work out. The radius is 8. Now you can take that radius, put it in here. The area is pi times the radius squared. And we're talking meters, so it's going to be something meters squared, meters times meters. So the area is 3.14 times 64. And I have no idea what that is. 3.14 times 64, 200.96 meters cubed is there. On these other ones, these higher order ones, it's just doing a couple different problems in one. I really won't work too many of them out. You can work them out, but you've got a circular flower bed, and then you have a sidewalk. And if you write in the numbers, you just take the whole big circle, so all of it, and you subtract off the garden, figure out the answer to all of the area, and subtract off that middle part, and what you'll have left will be the sidewalk. Same thing right here, a circular plate has a circumference, so the circumference they give you. So what's the area then of it? That's another one like up here. So in this one, you're adding things together. Here, you're subtracting things off. Here, you're taking the circumference information to find the area. Same thing here. 14, they want you to work backwards. A water sprinkler, so you have this water sprinkler shooting out water in a circular pattern. The area, they give you the area, 379.94. That's just pi r squared. What they're wondering is, how far out is it reaching? They're wanting to know, what is the radius? Well, if it's 379.94, I'm going to use 3.14. It doesn't tell me what to do, but I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. So 379.94 divided by pi, 379 divided by pi with no instructions. I'm kind of guessing 3.14, but that's what they want. And I get 121. So r squared, all on its own here, this has been reduced to 1. R squared is 121. So how do you find out what r is? How do you get the square? What times itself is 121? There's a square root sign. If you remember, if we talked much about that, the square root of 121, the radius that goes out is 11. Anyway, you can try a few of those. I've gone on too long as it is. On page 454, again, this is where we give you some information. You have to backfill the other one. Here, you're adding the area of this plus the area of that circle and the area of that circle. It's the same circle. There's some tricks you can do. Try these, but the main thing, really the only thing I want you to make sure you know at the end of the day is that the area of a circle is simply pi r squared, or the area equals pi r squared. And when you come down and you do the answer, you'll get a number answer with something squared. It'll be, inches, feet, meters, miles, kilometers. It'll be some distance and squares of that distance. Okay, area of a circle is pi r squared. If you know that, you're good for today. Try a couple of these to be ready for tomorrow. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.